Hey y'all, so today I'm going to do 441 final duplicates in an array. So the question says, given an integer array nums of length n where all the integers of nums are in the range 1 to n and each integer appears once or twice, return an array of all the integers that appears twice. You must write an algorithm that runs in O of n time and uses only constant extra space. So I think before I even solve this problem, I think let's think about how you would like to do it if you are not going to write it in code. If someone gave you like a list of numbers, in this case we are getting like a integer array, right? So which is pretty much like a list of numbers. How would you find which numbers appear twice? You try to remember so as you go through the list, you try to remember which numbers you have seen before. Or if you're given a long list, you would probably just keep a separate list where you kind of like write down what are the numbers you have seen so far in the list that has been given to you. So we can pretty much do the same thing, right? We can use a data structure to store all the numbers we have seen so far, and then as we go through the input vector nums, we see the current number that we are looking at of the nums if we have seen it before, by looking at whether the current number that we are looking at the nums, if it exists in the other data structure that we have created where we have been storing the ones that we have seen, right? So in this case, I'm going to be using set because set doesn't really keep like duplicates, so I'm not really using like extra space. And every time I see a number, right, if it doesn't exist in the set, I'm just going to insert it. If it exists, right, actually, you know what, since set only has like since set doesn't allow duplicates, when I try to insert a number, if it already exists in the set, it's not going to insert it, otherwise it's going to insert it. But I believe the set function for C++, uh, let's see, the insert function. Yeah, so when you try to insert a value, right, an int in this case, it's going to return whether it's inserted the value or not, and I believe the iterator to the location where it returned, right? I mean, where it inserted the value, right? So in version 1 and 2, the function returns a pair object whose first element is the iterator pointing to either to the newly inserted element in the container, which means that the number or the element did not exist in the set before, or to the element whose key is equivalent, which means like it's not gonna insert it, but you know because like the element is already inside of the set, so it's just gonna return the iterator to the element that already exists in the set, and the bool value indicating whether the element was successfully inserted or not. So I think I can use that in this case. So every time I see a number in nums, I try to insert it, and then I check if it has been inserted or not. If it has not been inserted, that means that number already exists in the set, right? So I can put it inside the um, like the result area and just return it. So I'm going to be checking. I'm going to try to insert the number that I'm looking at, and I'm going to be checking if it's been inserted or not. So in order to do that, if it's been inserted or not, I have to store the return value of the insert function. So to do that, I'm going to be making a pair. The first one will be an iterator, because it's going to be returning an iterator and a bool. So another set of int iterator and bool. I believe I'm doing it right. Let's see. And we check if the returns bool value is false. If it is false, that means we could not insert into the set because we have seen it already. Just wanted to make sure how to retrieve the bool. Push it back to the result because it exists already. After we are done going through the whole list, the input list, we want to return the result. Okay. Yee, works. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.